Okay, this is a Fummbl recap of a game between Horrid Henrys, who's coached by Beach, who's an experienced coach, and the RWB Crypt Stealers, who is a new guy to our league, Johnny. So I'm just going to have a look at it and see if there are any sort of obvious things. Johnny's had a pretty harsh season. He's just learned to play the game, and he's come up with some fairly experienced coaches, and he's played all his games in a brilliant spirit. Hasn't scored many touchdowns, and he hasn't got any points. So and he's soaked up a few touchdowns. So let's see how the whole thing goes. So inducement wise, it says a wizard for the home team. So Beach invested in a wizard. And then we have Cheney and we have a Merc werewolf. So he's only got one werewolf at the moment. He hasn't managed to buy one. But he's got 14 players. 14 players including Cheney. Yeah, cool. So problems we had previously was to do with caging and just choice of decisions, I guess. So let's see how that goes with here. So Cheney's been invested in, but has stayed off the pitch. So that's just a little thing to watch on there. Always a good idea. So, yeah, throw a rock. Turn the sound off. Right. Okay. So, no real problems with the setup apart from good idea to have players one square further back just to avoid the quick snap. That's something to watch for. Can't do much on this turn. Where's the ball? It was a touchback, was it? Oh no, the ball's back there. I do struggle with the pitch marking sometimes. I'll just turn those off for the moment. So caging up. Right, so let's see what we do here. So started the turn with a 1 dice blitz. So let's just pop back to the beginning. Right. So where did that come from? So that's interesting. Starting with a 1 dice blitz with no skills at all. That's not a good idea. Good idea to use. Oh right, okay. So it looks like he brought the assist in. Sorry, and then he stood up with the blitz there. Generally, not a good idea to blitz with zombies anyway. But look, what it looked like happened here was he decided to blitz with him, and then realised that it was going to be a 1 dice, and then didn't sort of change his mind. So it's important to realise that you can change your mind in Fummbl. You can declare the action, and then you can deselect the player. And then you can do that in tabletop as well. So we've got guard and block on that wolf. We've got nothing on that one. So it's only block on the wolf. So we want to be blitzing with this werewolf basically as much as possible. So I had to use the reroll there. Oh no, didn't have to use the reroll, but did use a reroll. Pushback would have been fine. So reroll management, again, a useful skill. That was actually a good move, just to move away, get one flesh golem away from the other one. So once he'd pushed the zombie, good idea to push him into the other guy. Was that a push? That was a push again. And oh, blimey. So ghouls can be quite fragile, and this one hasn't got block. So let's move that one back a second. So this one, 7, 8, could have gone there. So important to think about where you want the player to be before you move all your things. Because obviously going for it, he's used up the reroll. That ghoul's not doing anything. Really bad idea to do unnecessary go for it, basically, because that ghoul could die at any moment. And obviously the ghoul's not going to do very much anyway. Yeah, again, random go for it. Try and avoid those. So what we've got so far is thinking about what your blitz is going to be, and avoiding unnecessary dice rolls, I guess. Yeah, and just thinking through. Blimey, is that foul? Blimey, ouch. They are horrid, these Henrys. Right, so here, not very much on. So what he wants to be doing is blitzing with the block werewolf as much as possible. But he blitzes with the other one. And takes 2 dice on there, which is okay, but not the most valuable player. Does free up 2 dice on there if he's got stand firm. Another 2 dice. Okay, so he fouls. got plenty of players to foul, so that's okay. And the white obviously regened. How the game pans out. So there's the werewolf off the pitch. That's definitely his best player. Best player KO'd. And that was just a punch, wasn't it? Yeah. So werewolves, bad idea to leave werewolves next to people. Basically, if you're going to engage players, if you're going to leave your opponent with blocks to do, then it's a good idea to have a good reason for doing that. Basically, if you can leave players out, blimey, that was a 4 up then a 3 up. Okay, where's he going? And another. So he used a reroll there on a random go for it that was no need for it really. Thing to watch for. So blitzing zombies. So, oh wait a second, this is Henry's turn. Yeah, so blitzing zombies. Not Henry's turn. So moving through. Who's he gonna blitz? Basically, is the question. So still fouling. Stands up as a 1 dice pow. Yeah, good idea to try and maneuver a 2 dice blitz whenever you can. So what we're seeing, just to recap, is no unnecessary go for it. Think about what your blitz is going to be. So here, looking for a 1 dice. Basically, your blitz should always be a 2 dice blitz, because it's generally always possible to get a 2 dice hit when you're blitzing. It's in a whole world of pain here. The horrid Henrys are just being horrid, stalling out till the end. And then going to just run it in probably on the next turn or the turn after. Depending on how this goes, I guess. Oh, surfing the pool. Ouch, seriously injured. Oh, man. It's all going bad. Runs it in and gives them 1 turn to score back, which I think very much happens, I expect. Yeah, just got to be considering about which turn it is. So it's easy to miss that. So now he's receiving the ball. He's only 1-0 down, and it was the opponent's drive. So the game is by no means lost. Cheney's on the pitch. He's got 2 other werewolves, which the werewolf came back. So that's grand. What else? So it's looking okay, to be honest. So if he can cage up appropriately, then that's good. He's got 3 rerolls. All fine. So obviously, first thing to do. He's picked up the ball with the mercenary werewolf. Ghoul would be the best ball carrier. Merc werewolf has got loner. That's a big thing not to do, but he's picked up the ball first up, and then random go for it, which made the reroll. So basically, if that had failed, then that would have been all bad, because that would have been turnover basically. So now doing the moving, actually the cage has formed good, which is an improvement. And then looking at 1 dice powing. So he's taking the 1 dice. So there is an excellent opportunity. So that would have been 1 dice. What you can do in Fummbl is you can choose a block and then change your mind, because that would have given a 2 dice block there. Unfortunately, now we have a lovely cage here, which is about to be spoilt with a fireball. So, he's which completely. So it took out the ball carrier. Right, so that's unfortunate, because the cage was absolutely the right thing to do in most circumstances. But then there was a big fireball that messed with all the plans. And then I think it just goes all a bit rubbish after this, and players leave the pitch and all sorts. So yeah, it's just. Oh, he's got the ball back. This time on the same werewolf again. Generally a bad idea to carry the ball with mercs as well, because partly because of loner, but also because you don't want to be scoring with them. So I think we'll call it there, because I think it's all going to go slightly wrong for him. 2 dice uphill blitz there. But basically, what we're looking for is choosing the right ball carrier, trying to avoid doing things with loners at all if possible, and looking for move actions and avoiding 1 dice blocks. 1 dice blocks are horrible. You should only really do them if you have block, or if you have absolute need to do them. So hope that was